what I'm going to do is we're just going to go over the review page by page, and if you want me to do a question or talk about things, we'll discuss it, and then I'll explain a little bit what your exam might look like tomorrow. Yes, Tamara. Sure. Tamara, you're going to have probably a good 10 minutes, I'm going to guess. I'll send someone down to pick you up when we move on, okay? So, we're going to go over your Unit 2 review. Oh, that's not it. Oh, that one's an exam. Better not open that one up. Do we need to talk about anything from this first question? No? Yes? This second question, I know you guys, we need to talk about some reasons. Because some people forgot to give reasons or chose not to give reasons. A couple things came about. Some people chose, you got to remember the statements what corresponding is. So if these are parallel, this third 130 here is parallel or congruent to 130 because of the fact that it's corresponding angles. Okay. Now, some people stated that F was 62 because of vertically opposite to B, and then they went on and stated that B was vertically opposite to F, so it's 62 as well. That's kind of, you're not proving anything if you're saying this one's equal to 62 because it's vertically opposite to this one, and this one's equal to 62 because it's vertically opposite. It's like a circular argument, right? You have to have a statement in which that 62 comes from somewhere. So you could have either said that B is 62 because it's alternate exterior angles, or you could have said F was 62 because of the fact that it's corresponding angles, and then you could have said the other one is equal to 62 because of vertically opposite. And you can't say they're both 62 because they're vertically opposite to each other, right? So just be cautious when you're going through and proving some things that you're making those statements. You have to know alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, corresponding angles, vertically opposite. Am I missing any? You need to know, yeah, well, supplementary with same side interior and same side exterior. So you need to know what they mean and what they actually look like for those reasons. I'm going to guess you're going to have something similar to this where you have to state reasons why you made the angles. Okay? Question 3. Do we need to talk about question 3? Yeah? No? Question 4 I wanted to talk about because lots of people made a silly mistake in where they found the individual angle measure for this thing. The question specifically states for the sum of the measures. Okay, so you're trying to find the whole measures, not the individual angle measure. And you couldn't even find the individual angle measure on this one because it's not a regular one. So how do you find them here? You actually take 180 times n minus 2. That's the total. That's equal to the sum. Okay? So when it asks for the sum of something, of the entire interior measures, and so you got to be careful, it's interior measures. The sum of the interior measures is equal to that. Okay? Now, oh, you're saying my picture and my diagram is completely different. You get the mark if you actually found the sum of the measure, right? So if you went and divided by n, you're only finding individual angle measures, so you're not solving for the right answer anyway. So I've got to be careful that my picture matches my question. I'll check my exam before I print it tonight. Okay? Oh, good. When's our exam? Oh, good. Tomorrow is our exam. Okay. You will get these formulas, right? I'll write these formulas on the board. Sum is equal to n times 180 minus n. Individual angle equals, okay? You have to remember which one's interior and exterior. So you got to practice some definitions tonight, okay? Question 5, did we need to discuss? Anyone? Yes? No? Yes? I should take time and write down which ones we had some people get wrong on, so then I can just go over the ones that someone got wrong on. Question 6, do we need to talk about? I think we need to talk about this one because there was a few people that made mistakes here. I believe it was out of 2. Because you didn't have to state reasons, you just had to find the angle measure. Now, there are lots of steps on this one. We're trying to find this angle measure right in here, right? QMO. Well, I know that 180 minus 75 will give me this big one here, right? But it doesn't give me everything, right? So I need to subtract one more thing. I need to subtract angle NMO if I want to find that, right? How can I find angle NMO? I need to know this angle measure, right? Because then I know all the interior angles of the triangle. How can I get that angle measure? So these are parallel lines here, this one and this one. So this angle here is alternate interior angle to that one, right? So we know this angle MNP is 75. So to get that little angle in the triangle, it's 75 minus 22, which is 53. And so then we can find this angle measure, which is what we need, NMO, by using 180 minus 53 minus 45 to get us 82. Okay, and so then 180 minus 75 minus 82 is equal to QMO, which is 23, right? So a couple steps in there, okay? But lots of people made a mistake and just called this angle 75. You have to really look at the parallel lines, right? The parallel lines, you have to go all the way to the edge of the parallel line. You can't just jump halfway, okay? Question 7, I think, was well done. Well received. I don't think anyone had issues with question 7. Okay. Question 8, there was a few key mistakes here and there, but overall it was well done. Is there certain ones we want to talk about? I think 6 and 8. Is that the ones we need to talk about? 6 and 8 and 4? Any of them, you guys? No, but you can go grab some from Mr. Bohe's old room. None of these you want to go through, you guys? Question 9? No, we're good? Okay. Question 10. Okay, so let's talk about question 10. What's the first thing we did to question 10? I look at it and I see a regular sided pentagon in there, a 5-sided figure. So I can solve for the interior angles of each one, right? Individual angle measures. So I go 180 times 5 minus 2 divided by 5, right? That's the sum, or not the sum, that's the individual angle measure of a pentagon. So we actually, when we do this, it's not the sum, it's individual angle. When we do this, 180 times 3, that's 540. 540 divided by 5, that's 105. 8. So what that means is that this angle is equal to 108, this angle, this angle, this angle, and this big angle is equal to 108 too. So all those interior angles are 108. Right away I can come up with C then, right? Because angle C is 72, 180 minus 108. So angle C equals 72. Now I can do the same thing up here. If this is 108, this is 72 here, so I can find angle D in the triangle to be 36. And then, 108. I can look and I have a quadrilateral here, right? Because this line cuts it here. It cuts straight across, and it's an isosceles on top. So I know that the angles underneath are equal to each other too, right? So 360 minus 108 gives me what? 144. And then I've got to take that 144 and divide it by 2 because it's 2 angles on the top. Gives me 72 here and here, right? So angle B is 72. How do I find angle A? 108 minus 72 gives us 36. Okay? So whenever you see a shape, a lot of times I would look, okay, is it a regular pentagon? Can I find its individual angle measure? Right? That would be my first step. And then I would look, oh, there's some straight lines there. I know straight lines add up to 180. Can I work with that? Question 11, worded slightly funny, but I was trying to find the interior angle measures. I think that one went okay. The big thing in here you had to remember, exterior angles and interior angles add up to 180 if they're adjacent interior angles, right? So 180 minus 157, 180 minus 79, and then all triangles add up to 180, so 180 minus those other 2 interior angles. Okay. Question 12, you had to know what the sum of a hexagon was, and then you could subtract off a hexagon, off all the other angles. So you should end up with 290. How did I come up with that? Well, a hexagon, that's a 6-sided figure, right? So it's 180 times 6 minus 2. So 180 times 4. So it should add up to that 720 degrees. And then you did 720 minus 80 minus 130 minus 70 minus 100 minus 50. And you're left with like 290 or something like that. Okay? Question 13. I think went fairly well. If anything happened, it was minor mistakes in combining x's or combining numbers. Okay, but overall I thought it went very well. 14, the last question. Okay. The key thing when we're doing 2-column proofs, you have to have the proof before you say it's congruent. Okay, so some people had the congruent triangles in the middle of the proof and then showed how the angles in the sides were equal underneath. Can't do that, okay? The last 2 statements or the last statement of any of your proofs should be what you're trying to prove. So this should go on the bottom, okay? So that should be the last things on the bottom. And then you have to figure out, okay, how am I proving it? You're going to have to remember side, 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 angle, angle, side, angle, 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 side, or hypotenuse leg, right? And then you have to go through and just use from like section 2.1 and 2.2 some of the parallel lines and angles. That'll probably show up in here. And so that's what happened here, right? These lines were parallel, so this was parallel with this one. So this is a transversal, so this angle equaled that angle because of alternate interior angles. Same thing, this line was parallel, oh that's really bad, with that line. So then you had interior angles, alternate interior angles here, right? So then you could go angle, side, angle in your proof, right? you're going to have to do a proof. Whether it be a full out proof like this, or I have some of it pieced together and you just have to finish it like your bell work, there's going to be some sort of 2-column proof in here, okay? What does your exam look like? It looks like your review, but smaller, right? This was a 5-page review, right? You're probably going to end up with 3 pages of questions, maybe 4, okay? Going to have lots of space, just like your review, right? There was lots of space for you guys to work in, so there's lots of white space. So even if it's a 4-page exam, you might only have 8 questions, right? So take your time tomorrow, show me your work. If I ask for reasons, put your reasons in, right? Any questions about what you should expect tomorrow for your exam? It'll be a broad range of everything from 2.1 to 2.5, okay? And I'll give you those polygon formulas. So the exterior angle formula and the interior angle formulas, okay? I don't think this time I gave you any multiple choice, but it does appear frequently on lots of my math exams, okay? But I don't think this time there is any multiple choice. If there is, there might be a couple, okay? Are we okay? Okay, what I'm going to show you is one last thing. I'm going to show you the assignment from the sign law. Remember we looked at sign law yesterday? We have about 30 minutes. And with people missing today, I was going to go into the applications of sign law, but I don't think we're going to go there. So I'm just going to let you work on the sign law questions, assignments. And it's not due tomorrow, it's going to be due Monday. Your job tonight is to study, okay? So your assignment is right here. It's on page 124 of the text. It's questions 3 ACE, question 4, 5, and 6, and 7. It's not for homework tonight. Your homework tonight is to study. It'll be due on Monday, okay?